Hello.
Then, now,
Showdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Well, hello. This is episode number 69, nice, of the TEW IX Challenge Run. This is coming, probably just a day after SmackDown for you, but this is a long time coming for me. Yeah. So, if I'm recording this, days after the last episode, was in the middle of moving. We're now officially all moved in, so this is the first episode in the new house, and my internet was down for the first week, so I couldn't even upload them. So that's what the big gap was for. Anyway, tonight is the go-home show for Survivor Series. Yes, it's January, and I'm not even got to Survivor Series yet. Fuck me, getting to the Rumble is going to be a task. But I'm still going to try and grind it out. So expect many a double uploads in the coming weeks. But yes, tonight we have the next matches in the Women's Intercontinental Climax. I think it's Bianca Belair against Piper Niven, Tatum Paxley against Tiffany Stratton, and Tegan Knox against Tam. We also have the Guns taking on Path of the Dragon. We have a contract signing between CM Punk and AJ Styles. I'll open up the show. And, just announced now, in our main event, it's finally going to happen. The singles match. Giovanni Vinci takes on Gunther. So any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. We start the show. Bobby Roode's in the ring. He stood at the table. And there's a cloth by his side, like a little podium. You can tell there's a belt under there. And he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. This Saturday night, while SmackDown and ECW have war games, we have something even bigger here on Monday Night Raw. We have 2 WWE champions. But after this Saturday night, there will only be 1 WWE champion. So we're here for the contract signing to get that championship match made official. Please welcome my guest first, the phenomenal AJ Styles." Out comes AJ. He sits at the desk. He puts his WWE title on the table, facing the hard cam. Goes, "And please welcome the other WWE champion, CM Punk." Punk comes out. He's got his belt. He puts his belt down in front of AJ's on the table. So Punk's is right at the front. He puts his feet up on the desk. Classic CM Punk shit. And he goes, "Wow, Bobby, you sure could have given me a hell of a better opening introduction than that. It's almost like you're playing favorites here. It's almost like you and your old friend Alan from down there in Florida and all that wrestling. Like you've got a favorite here. You want AJ Styles to become the undisputed WWE champion. I'm going to tell you what, Bobby. If I wasn't me, I'd want AJ Styles to be the WWE champion too. Because CM Punk's WWE hasn't got room for all this mess. Even someone like you, Bobby Roode, you've had a great career here in this industry. And you're lucky you're behind a desk in a suit now and not in this ring because you're the exact sort of guy I'd be looking to cleanse. But since you want to be the authority around here, you sure as hell about a lot better than some of the people I've seen running this company in the past. So I'm actually going to let that one slide, Bobby. But they made one big mistake when you started this contract signing. That's what you said. There was 2 WWE champions. That's wrong. Because I am and have always been the real WWE champion. This guy was a pretender that they put a replica on while I was away. Because they were angry at CM Punk. Because what's new? And you go, "Shut up, Phil. You said this all last week, okay? Sure, I may not have been WWE champion if you didn't do what you did back at SummerSlam, if you didn't send this entire show into chaos. But you did. And I was the guy who stepped up. I was the guy, Mr. TNA, holding this company on his back, rebuilding from the chaos that you caused. So I'm gonna be the WWE champion coming on a Saturday night." But he goes, "Boys, I hate to interrupt this, but on top of you signing the contracts tonight for the Survivor Series match, I'm going to need you both to hand me your WWE Championships. And Punk just laughs and goes, really? You think I'm going to fall for that, Bobby? Bobby goes, it's by order. Because this Saturday night, we're going to crown the new, undisputed WWE Champion. And he takes the cloth up. It's the new WWE title. It's the one that Cody has now in real life. This felt like the right place to introduce it. And Punk just points out and he goes, That another gaudy championship with your big ass WWE logo on the front, because God knows you got to get that PR when all the celebrities carry it around here. That's what matters. Okay, when Bruno Sammartino was the WWE champion, when the Macho Man Randy Savage, when Stone Cold Steve Austin was the WWE champion, it didn't have a big ass corporate logo on the front of it. It was a championship meant to be prestigious, meant to be held by the very best. That is a marker from a company, $1 billion company who's given you their stamp of approval. But, Bobby, since I'm such a good company man, I don't want to get suspended again. I'll take your little corporate championship belt on Saturday night. I don't mind. But was one thing for damn sure is that you're not getting your hands on my WWE championship until then. I'm sure AJ, he's a good little boy. He'll hand his championship over to you nice and easy, but you're not doing that to me. Okay, I'll hand over my WWE championship to the referee on Saturday night when the bell rings and I knock this clown out and I take home not only my championship, not only his replica, but that new corporate branded seal of approval you've just shown me right now. Now I've got this signed. I've got more important places to be tonight, so I'll see you in Detroit. And Punk just picks up his belt and walks out. And he goes, that's it, you walk away, Punk. Huh? 'Cause that's what you ever do, huh? When going gets tough for CM Punk, he walks away. Well, this Saturday night, there's going to be no place to walk away, Punk, because it's going to be you and I locked in this ring. And the very best is going to be in that ring trying to become the WWE Championship. But the best can't hold a candle to being phenomenal. This time next week, I'll be standing here proudly wearing that championship as your new undisputed WWE champion. Then get a quick interview. Kathy Kelly's with Giovanni Vinci. Vinci walks into the frame, probably starts flirting with her as he does. He goes, Vinci, tonight's a big night for you. This Saturday night, you're part of Cody Rhodes' team at Survivor Series, but tonight is all about you. It's about Giovanni Vinci, because tonight, in the main event of Monday Night Raw, you go one-on-one with your former Imperium leader, your former mentor, Gunther. And Vinci goes, Gunther he's one of the greatest professional wrestlers on the world right now. But over the past few months, he hasn't really appreciated Giovanni Vinci while he's had me around. And he blames me for his championship defeat, and while I may have had a hand in it, Gunther should have seen it coming. So tonight, I'm going to do what I do best. Show off that Italian elegance. Defeat Gunther 1, 2, 3 and prove that Imperium, that I never needed Imperium. That Imperium needed Giovanni Vinci. 78. Sure, we'll take that. The first match of the night is the first of our 3 second round South Conference Women's Intercontinental Climax matches. Bianca Belair and Piper Niven. They've done this match in real life recently. We get the big spot at the end where Bianca gets Piper up for the KOD, pins her in 13:03 to earn her second victory in the tournament. So Bianca gets an 83, Piper gets a 73, which balances out to a 78. So yeah. But yes, Bianca Belair does pick up her second victory. She's now on 6 points in this South Conference tournament. Piper Niven still only on 1 because she drew with Tegan Knox last week. Tam and Paxley are on 0, and then obviously Stephanie Vicker. Who's the other person on 3? And Tiffany Stratton, yeah. Hype package, Jaden Nova. They're pretty much done all their talking. So, Let's hype this up. This is our Women's Championship match this Saturday night. Jade Cargill challenges Nova Nebula for the WWE Women's Championship. Then cut backstage. CM Punk is with Cora Jade and Roxy Perez. And he continuing to rant, after that contract signing. He's found the cameraman. And he goes, "What you saw out there tonight, that was the last of good guy CM Punk. Okay, I've tried playing nice around here. I've tried to be the company guy. Okay, that didn't work out for me, so I had to do what I did and call this place out. Things don't change around here until you call them out for what they are. And apparently I'm the only person with the balls to do that, so AJ Styles, I'll see you Saturday night. But right now, there are people on this roster that believe in CM Punk. That believe in my vision of what this place can be. And quite frankly, they're worth my time of day a hell of a lot more than you are." And then he turns and he's like, "And speak of the devils." And we see Emerson Frost and Ken Cobain just stood there like, "Can we help you, Punk?" He goes, "Boys, Raven and I, we have a lot of history. Too deep to even go into right now, but you want to check it back 20 years. When Raven says if it wasn't for him, there might not be a CM Punk, he's not entirely wrong. But that doesn't stop making a call out injustice when I see it around here. You see, you boys are the future of the tag team division here on Monday Night Raw. There's no reason you can't be the present. Okay? Well, apart from one very obvious reason you can't be the present, that's because you're not getting those opportunities. Raven, who's taken you under his wing, you're the latest members of his flock. He's giving those opportunities to guys like Buddy Murphy and Damian Priest, who aren't even tag team competitors. And they're getting those opportunities over you. I hear tonight Buddy's going one-on-one with Christian. So why should Buddy Murphy and Damian Priest get all the singles opportunities because Buddy's a former WWE champion, and all the tag team championship opportunities because they won the tag team championships for about a week 3 years ago? Why does that leave you, huh? Why are you even a part of Raven's master plan? With CM Punk leading things around here, things like that will be eradicated. And then he walks off. And they sort of do look at each other like, huh, nice. 71. I knew this was going to be a bit weak because I had to keep Path of the Dragon strong because the Guns cheat to beat them. Last week the Guns came out and backstage, shouted at him, called him washed, and I'm not going to say they were right, but they did get the victory here tonight over them. 51 for Colton, 56 for Austin, 75 for Akira Tozawa, and 83 for Humberto. But yeah, a nice win for the Guns. They've been on a bit of a, I'm not going to say a bit of a roll, but they've won a couple of matches recently, which is more than I can say for them at any point in the since they got called up to Raw, basically. But yeah, we do need more teams, to be established. So I thought this was a nice win to give them, to give them that rub, beat a credible team in the division. Path of the Dragon aren't currently in the title picture at the moment. So yeah. After the match, Jay White gets into the ring. He says, "Wow, what you saw there is the ability of the Guns on full display. You see, they've been held down ever since they came here to Raw. I don't know why. They're second generation superstars. Tag team legend is their own father, yet they don't get the opportunities to show it here on Raw. But I don't want to talk about them. I'm finished with them. What I want to talk about is last week. What I want to talk about is R-Truth. See, R-Truth is a joke around here. I've barely given him a time of day. I can't even believe I'm addressing this in the middle of the ring. But he came into my locker room last week and he jumped me. He failed because he's a goof, but he did it. So, I'm not going to take that lying down. Why does Truth want to come out here and attack King Switch? And he comes out. It's like, dog, my bad. Last week, I had a bit of a misunderstanding. You see, last week, the Mafia, 3-6 Mafia, told me that they wanted me to take you out because they want that championship, dog. As everybody else around here might have got the opportunity to face you. But the guy calls himself Donald, I don't know, he's the Don. He says he wants that shot at you next. And he wanted me to soften you up. And Jay White's like, oh, is that so? Is that so, huh? If Tony D'Angelo or anybody else back there wants a shot at this championship, I'm not exactly hard to find. I'll take on any challenge for the right asking price. Okay? And as a matter of fact, Truth, since you're being so nice and so generous and so honest with me right now, how about you get a shot at the championship right here, right now? And Truth's like, me? Dog, I'm not supposed to be fighting for the championship. Okay, that's Donald. And then Jay White slaps him in the face. He goes, you're just a joke, are you, Truth, huh? Can't do anything by yourself. And then Truth's like, now you think about it. My hero, John Cena. I remember watching him win that championship back when I was a little boy. And I want to do the same thing. And Jay White's like, well, John Cena's never been Intercontinental Champion, okay? Because he's not as good as I am. But live your childhood fantasy, Truth. Come on. And of course, 67. Jay White does beat R-Truth for the Blade Runner. We get the one spot where R-Truth hits the AA and he gets that near fall. But obviously he does lose in the end. Jay White makes him as number 9 of the IC title. 86 for Jay White, 54 for R-Truth. And yeah, nice win. Well, not really a nice win. Easy-ish win for Jay White here tonight. After the match, Tony D'Angelo and the family get into the ring. And Truth's like, dog, I'm sorry. I'll let you down again. And Tony D just looks like, you did, Truth. You know, when I first took you into the family here, I thought you were going to be useful. I thought there was a lot of things on the front line at the Dawn. I couldn't get my hands dirty. I could send you out to do them for me and do them right. But all I've learned in these weeks since is that you're a joke. You're a liability. There's a reason why nobody ever takes you seriously around here. It's because you're a laughing stock. And that's what you are, and that's what you're always gonna be, Truth. The family, we don't deal with laughing stocks. So it's time for you to maybe disappear. And, you know, the D'Angelo family's over corner, Raw Truth against the Wolves, like, dog, we can sort this out. 3-6 Mafia, World Tour, come on. It doesn't have to be this way. When out come Titus World Records. Titus gets into the ring. He goes, Truth! Truth, what you doing out here? And he goes, I joined 3-6 Mafia, you know, I was going to get us a big collaboration with 3-6 Mafia for our next hit. And Titus like, that ain't 3-6 Mafia, that's the D'Angelo family. They're using you, Truth. And he goes, using me? I don't know about all that, Titus. I'm using them, you know, to get us leverage on the next, you know, the next album. You know, 3-6 Mafia, big band. And Titus goes, we don't need help. Especially not from these guys. Tony goes, oh, look, your father, your babysitter's come here. And he's looking after you, okay, huh? What are you going to do about it, huh? Your friend's a joke. Truth, he's a joke around here. He needs to be dealt with. And Slim Shanky steps in front of Tony D'Angelo. Big Cass steps face to face with Slim Shanky. And eventually, Big Cass does, you know, Tony orders Big Cass to step aside. He goes, you know, he's their problem now. Let him be their issue. But yeah, Titus and Co. finally back to collect their lost child, I guess. Speaking of lost children, Billy Starks and Killer Kelly backstage. Yeah. Kelly's got a match later on tonight in the... No, she hasn't. She's next week. But he goes, yeah. They're rewatching Kelly's last match. He goes, you know, last week, tough loss. And, you know, next week's against Bayley. She's not really had a very good run of things around here so far. So, hopefully then next week's going to be a nice win for you. You know, impress Becky, get back on track. Kelly goes, Billy, I'm going to be honest. I know you're a fan and all. You grew up watching and idolizing Becky, but I don't really care. I'm doing it for myself. Okay. If she's off being the tag team champions of Lyra, my tag team partner, that's all well and good, but the one positive of that is that it gave me this opportunity to try and, find myself. And if I can win that Intercontinental Championship, I'm not going to win it for Becky. I'm going to win it for myself. And then Becky and Lyra do walk in. It was Kelly. Stargo. I've arrived. I'm back. You can stop your panicking. I know you are wondering just when is Becky Stardust going to grace us with her presence again, because last week I wasn't here. But I had things to do on these other shows that apparently exist outside of my orbit. Apparently being women's tag team champions means I've got to go over to that shows, and for some reason they let Bird Girl in as well. It's a whole thing. Anyway. Kelly. She's like, yes, Becky. She goes, last week you were in this women's Intercontinental big climax thing. Huge climax. Climaxing all over the show. And you lost? Kelly, we don't lose around here. And Kelly goes, oh, we do, because you've lost plenty of matches in the last couple of weeks. Becky goes, excuse me? I've had my ears checked time and time again, because there are a lot of things that I need to make sure I hear. So I heard you muttering under your breath, and it sounded like you were talking back to me. And Kelly was like, I was. Say it's all well and good for you to walk in here and say, oh, Kelly, you let us down by losing one match in the tournament when you got pinned cleaning a sheet by Julia 3 weeks ago. And then Becky still just looks angry. She pulls a chair up. She sits down in a chair and she goes, come around, children. Billy immediately scoots up right next to Becky. She goes, I'm going to tell you, Kelly, very important story. You need to carry it with you for the rest of your life. So, once upon a time, there lived this big, massive, hairy, green monster. He lived in the forest, and everybody stayed away from him because, they thought he was scary. He didn't look like them. He was different. He was an outcast. He was a misfit. So his life, it was pathetic. It was miserable. And then one day, he made a friend. His friend was a little nearby deer. This deer was the first person to befriend the monster, get to know the monster for who he really was. And for a while, it seemed it was happy. Everything was rosy between the deer and his new monster friend. And then the deer went out, and he made new friends. Friends that were deers. These deers were telling him, no, stay away from that monster, stay away from that monster, stay away from that monster. And the monster heard all that. And then one day alone, sad, he went out to his dear friend, and he snapped his neck. And as his dear friend laid there, pool of blood, dying, he just looked down, and he burst into tears. His one friend gone. So, Kelly, what do you think the takeaway of that story is? Would you say, don't befriend monsters? She goes, no. It's that we are all monsters. And if you want to talk back to me, I'll be the one to snap your neck. And that won't end well for you. Okay? Now, I have a women's tag team championship match to defend on Heat, because apparently I'm going to work Heat tonight. And me and Bird Girl are going to do it. And next week, I want to see results, Kelly. Bayley has had a rough go of things in this tournament so far. And, quite frankly, losing a championship to Bayley is a no-go. And Becky and Lyra leave. And you can see Kelly's going to go try and say something, but he's just like, just don't. I know, but don't. Backstage, Path of the Dragon are angry. Akira and Humberto throwing, crates around, kicking shit. Zerg is roaring. And then Xia Li has to step in. She's like, hey, we lost one match tonight. They cheated to do it. And then Humberto goes, it's not one match. We lost the championships. We lost to the Guns. You know, last week, Austin and Colin, they said some horrible things about Akira and about myself. But maybe they were true. Maybe this harsh reality is the reality we've got to live in right now. As I goes, well, with that attitude, it will be. Come on. Last time we were down, you know what we did. It's time to refocus, reshape. And I know just the place. And Zaya leaves. Zergus follows her, and I guess Humbo and Tozawa sort of do just shrug and walk off and follow them as well. 76. Tegan Nox defeats Tam in 14:55. Right at the deadline. Like, the whole thing is like, it looks like Tegan's about to, you know, go to the time limit again. I'm actually glad they picked 14:55 because I was gambling when I put 15 minutes in because, you know, sometimes the game will roll over and go 15:20. But no, 14:55 is like the perfect length. But, like, Tegan couldn't beat Piper last week, so she was giving... Tam, I guess, was giving Tegan a go, is more the right way to say it. In the end, Tegan does nick out a win in 14:55. 68 for Tam, 81 for Tegan. And she gets her first 3 points of the tournament. She's now on 4 total. Technically undefeated because she drew the last one. So she's on 4. Piper's on 1. Bianca's on 6. Tiffany's currently on 3. And then Tam is on 0, as is Tatum right now. So yeah. Then get a quick backstage segment. Montez Ford catches up with Bianca Belair. And he goes, you know, I was watching SmackDown this week. I saw Dawkins. I saw what Dawkins did. You know, putting Johnny Gargano in the hospital. Now, I know we've got no love lost for Johnny and Candice. But, Dawkins, he's out of line. He's barely even the man that I recognized anymore. When we were tag team partners, he was happy as can be. But this side of Angelo Dawkins is a monster. And I can't help but feel it's a monster that I created. And then Oro says, hey, my guy, you know, what Angelo Dawkins thought about you and your tag team, that's all on him. Okay. You trying to become WWE champion and becoming World Heavyweight champion without him is your own success making him jealous. So you didn't create this monster. Angelo Dawkins created this monster. This monster was inevitable to be created. The best we can do now is stay away from him. And Montez Ford just stares straight ahead. And he goes, right, Tez? And he just, the camera sort of zooms in on Montez Ford's face. He just like, right. And then go backstage. AJ Styles is with Kathy Kelly. Because AJ, to kick off the night, tonight we saw you and CM Punk officially make it official for Survivor Series, but you know, there's a bit of another squabble between you two on the microphone. He goes, that's all CM Punk likes to do, Kathy, is talk. Okay, talk. That's all CM Punk does. Okay, he calls himself the best in the world, and sure, he may be a hell of a wrestler when the bell rings, but all he can do is yap on, and yap on, and yap on. And I may like to talk as well, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't. But I back my words up in that ring. So CM Punk, he can promise change. He can promise everything. That change he's promising is going to come to an end this Saturday night when I, AJ Styles, put him in the dirt. And Chad Gable walks up. He goes, AJ, you know, great stuff. You know, I had my issues with CM Punk too. When I called out CM Punk for what he was all those months ago, I was right about it. So you're welcome for the heads up. But just let it be known, I still have this briefcase, and if I want to, at any time, I could cash this in and become WWE champion. Hell, we've seen 2 cash-ins in the span of 3 weeks. I could make it a 3rd, AJ. And AJ goes, I'd love to see you try. And he walks off. And then Gable sort of like turns to Kathy and goes, Woody now. I see how it is. Christian's in the ring with Dominic and Lexis King, the tag team champions. And Christian, he just raises his arm up. He's like, silence while I speak. Last week, my favourite sons, Dominic and Lexis, defended their newly won World Tag Team Championships and is one half of the greatest tag team of all time, the greatest half of the greatest tag team of all time, the one who's still actually wrestling because his body didn't break down on him. It makes me so proud to see my kids holding that championship that meant so much to me in my career. But, like every good father, I need to do something to make my children proud. So tonight's not about my kids, tonight's about me. Tonight, Raven's little grand jury, his little flock, whatever he wants to call them, they're sending their best soldier at me. They're sending Buddy Murphy at me. But I want you to know one thing. This victory will be the first in the patriarchy's line of dominance, because I heard Jay White talk earlier on tonight about being open to any challenge at any time. Well, watch this, champ, and then I'll be seeing you for that championship. 75 rating. Buddy Murphy does defeat Christian with a Murphy's Law in 12:02. 67 for Christian, 77 for Buddy Murphy. So yeah, Buddy, I think he has won a couple of matches, but he's not won enough recently. So yeah, give him a nice win over Christian here. Christian is somebody who can be beaten like a drum and not lose anything from it, so it's fine. But yeah, Buddy Murphy does pick up the win for, I guess, the grand jury. And Raven's there. He like raises Buddy Murphy's arm. Damian Priest comes in, he raises his arm as well. Kemerson Frost, yes, that's the one. Ken Cobain and Emerson Frost, you know, they do slide into the ring as well, and they raise the other men's arms. When onto the stage walks CM Punk, and Roxy and Cora behind him. He just stood there with his arms folded. He's just watching on in the ring as the grand jury celebrate. Big win for Buddy Murphy here tonight. And then Emerson and Ken sort of do look up at the stage at CM Punk. Punk just stares back at him. He sort of just gives them a nod. And that's when Emerson Frost and Ken Cobain take out Buddy Murphy and Damian Priest. You know, they go low on Priest, you know, double team him, hit their tag team finisher on him. Do the same to Buddy Murphy. Raven can't believe his eyes. But Raven is Raven, you know. So he just stands there and he takes the attack. He like opens his arms out and like he does the Raven sacrifice thing, but like he knows he's about to be killed. And they do attack him, of course. And then CM Punk walks down to the ring. He gets into the ring. He grabs Raven by the face. He goes, "Look at me now, old man. Look at me now, old man. It's a new era around here. And you damn sure, after everything you've done, aren't invited." And he picks up Raven. He hits Raven for GTS. And him and Emerson Frost and Ken Cobain leave, you know, with Roxy and Cora on the ramp. And just walk to the back. And then we come back from ads. Punk is back on the mic. You know, he's backstage, walking through the hall, Cora and Roxy behind him, Emerson and Ken behind him. Kathy goes, "Punk, what did we just see out there?" He goes, "Kathy, what you just saw out there was two more men tired of the system. Two more men tired of the way things worked around here." I say worked, because they're not going to work around here like that for very long. This is the start of CM Punk's WWE. Gone are old men like Raven chasing that high, because Raven was washed up 20 years ago when I beat his ass in Ring of Honor. Gone are people in this for themselves and trying to hog spots away from talent of the future. I'm the cure for this disease. And once I become the undisputed WWE champion, there's nobody that can even pretend that they're on my level. The way AJ Styles parades around like he is right now, he's not. So every single member of the Monday Night Raw roster listen to these words as they reach out from my mouth to the screen. Because they're words you're going to have to either live by or get used to for as long as I damn well want it to be true. You either step up or you step aside. You either run along to the retirement home or you get forced there. You either get with the times or get left behind. The soul of this company is rotten. And this is the antidote. And he walks off. Cora, Roxy follow him. Ken Emerson follow him. 72. Yeah, I knew this was going to get dinged by psychology, but it's fine. Tiffany Stratton defeats Tatum Paxley 11-10 to pick up her next 3 points. So she is now also on 6 with Bianca. Tatum's on 0 with Tam. And then Tegan's on 4 and Piper's on 1. So yeah, nice little group, forming here. Technically even the zeros could still get through if they just beat everybody else in their path. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton picks up the win. 76 for Tiffany, 71 for Tatum. After the match, Tiffany Stratton, she's at ringside, and Marie and Mariah are there with her. She picks up the IC title. She's the first person to actually hold the belt. They do the thing. They've done the thing in the actual tournament where women go out there and look at the belt, but Tiffany actually puts her hands on it, and even the timekeeper's hey, put that down. Don't touch that before the final. She goes, sorry, I'm just getting a better look at. Need to visualize this because when I win it, it's gonna have to match with my clothes. So I need to make sure I get the right outfit ready for my celebration when I win this championship, January 6th. We then see Jay White and the Guns backstage. They're all happy. All 3 of them won tonight. He's like, what did you say last week? You called them Path of the Dragons. You called them washed. I think you proved that tonight. Not that losing to the sons of one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time in a tag team match is bad, because of course you're the future of this tag team division, but they've run off somewhere else. Maybe they're going to go climb another mountain and find themselves again. And as for me, I put that idiot R-Truth in the dirt. He's got his own little band to worry about now, so he's out of my hair. I can continue being the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. And they do bump into the patriarchy. And Christian's like, nice sons. In another world, lost souls like Austin and Colton, they could have been great children of mine. But they instead found a father figure in you. And Jay's like, what do you want, Christian? He goes, well, you heard me out there. You said you were a fighting Intercontinental Champion, and that's why I want the next shot at that Intercontinental Championship. And Jay's like, but you lost, Christian. You lost to Buddy Murphy, so why should I not be handing Buddy Murphy this opportunity instead of you? And Christian's like, you're scared of me. You know the patriarchy is better than whatever this stupid little group you've got here is. You're trying to gatekeep me out of that championship. But I'm here to make you a proposition, Jay. Should you grant me my rightful shot at the Intercontinental Championship, then I will let your friends, Austin and Colton, challenge my sons for the World Tag Team Championships next week. And Dominic and Lexis King all look at him confused, like, what the fuck? And Jay's like, I know I can beat you, because Buddy Murphy can beat you, and I'm better than Buddy Murphy. And I know the Guns can beat Dominic and Lexis. Fuck it, you're on, sure. Next week, 2 championship matches. And he walks off. Christian looks all smug and nods his head slowly. He's like, yes. Boys, next week I'll be the champion. Just like you. A father to look up to. And there we have it. Confirmation. Next week, we will see Jay White make the next defense of the Intercontinental Championship when he takes on Christian. Christian, who lost to Buddy Murphy tonight, but he managed to, manipulate his way into a championship match next week. Because he's got a way with words, that man, let me tell you. You can say what you want about him, but he does have that way with words. Plus, on top of that, this was the reward in return. The Patriarchy will defend the World Tag Team Championships against Austin and Colton Gunn so many generations of wrestling in this one match, but which second generation team will become the champions or retain the championships or be the champions, I guess is the best way to put it. We'll find out next week. Plus, the next matches, the third matches of the North Conference of the Women's Intercontinental Climax, including this heated rivalry renewed, an XJ Flow showdown, as Club Venus's Mina Shirakawa takes on Maki. You know, neither woman's had the best opening to this tournament. I think Maki's on 1 and Mina's on 0. So, yeah, someone should be getting their first win, of course, unless it goes to a draw next week. Plus, 2 women on the opposite end of the spectrum. Both these women currently undefeated. Both women have 6 points, but somebody will drop their first points next week, as Jada Parker and Stephanie Vaquer go 1-on-1. Plus, of course, we heard about earlier on tonight, Bayley, on her 1 point, her rough start to the tournament, takes on Killer Kelly Costa of the Misfits in the Intercontinental Climax. 99 rated main event. Hoping this was going to be good, but Jesus Christ, Gunther. Vinci, you know, what a performance. He's a made man. Even though he lost, he's a made man after this. You know, he proved that he can hang on that level. But yeah, Gunther does defeat Giovanni Vinci in 2025 with a Golden Bomb. 82 for Vinci, 98 for Gunther. So yes, what a performance by Vinci. He's the man, and he's now officially here as a staple of the mid-card here on Monday Night Raw. And after the match, of course, Ludwig comes out, he jumps Giovanni Vinci, and then it's 1 by 1, the faces and heels come out, and we just get a big 10-man brawl between all the members of their Survivor Series teams. The actual closing spot, I can imagine, like, everybody's brawling around at ringside with their respective rivals. And then, like, Cody and Bronson Steiner are fighting by the barricade. And then, you know, as the graphic pops up for us to go off air, we see Bronson Steiner just spear Cody through the barricade as it fades to black. It's just like this big chaotic ending. It's like, oh my god, Cody's down. 91 rated show. Yeah, we'll take that. And yeah, I'll matter more of those what you thought of the show. Do leave in the comments below. And do stay tuned for Heat, because we have a Women's Tag Team Championship match. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria defending against Shayna Baszler. Heat kicks off, of course, with the first interview post Intercontinental Climax. It's Tiffany Stratton. She says, oh my god, you saw it out there. Okay, I knew starting this tournament I was going to be the favourite, and all I've done so far is win. Okay, so you're asking why, Tiffy, why did you pick up that Intercontinental Championship and parade around like you've already won it? Because I basically have. Okay, and that championship, it's pretty. It's really pretty, and like, I can go through my wardrobe and I can find the best outfit, because January 6th, I'm going to become the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion. And then, January 13th, the following week, we're going to have a big celebration live on Raw, and I become the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion. And we don't need to dress the part, girls, because, you know, I've not lost a single match this tournament. I'm not going to. I don't plan to. And then Joe Tessitore is doing the interview. He's like, well, you did lose, like, a couple of weeks ago to Bianca Belair, and Bianca is also in the South Conference, so you will have to face her again at some point. Tiffy goes, did I ask for your rude-ass question? Toodles. Walks off. On the contrast to that, we have Tatum Baxley, who lost again. And Joe, like, tries to get up to her, goes, Tatum, I wanted to see if I could get a word. And Tatum's there, she's, like, fighting back tears. Her makeup's all smudged. She goes, I'm never going to have a friend again. I'm never going to be valuable or desired or anything ever again. Because Tegan and Piper, they get to have friends. Tiffy, she gets to have friends. Bianca, she gets to have friends. But oh no, Tam, she gets to have friends. But I get nobody. Left, abandoned, alone. And this is what I've been reduced to. Mommy's never coming back. I'm lost. Do you want to play with me? And then Joe's like, no, I've got other interviews to do. I don't particularly want to. No. And he backs away. 70 rated match. Just a random 8-woman tag. Club Venus to get them a win, because, you know, we need to establish more teams in the women's tag division. We do have the Page Sisters here. Plus, Mina is in the climax, and she's lost both matches so far. So, you know, make her so she's not looking like a total geek, you know. Victoria Shield gets to 34, 60 for Kenzie, 49 for Kylie, 74 for Mina, 59 for Zoe, 65 for Sol, 63 for Raquel, and a 57 for B-Fab. Sure. They cut to J-Flo. I say J-Flo, Tam. But Mackie's with her. And Joe says, goes, Tam, second defeat in two matches in this tournament. You know, obviously at this stage of the tournament, you can still qualify, but you're going to pick up 3 victories in your next 3 matches, so it's not looking too good for you in this tournament. And Mackie's like, shut up! And then Joe went, well, last week, Mackie, I was here with you as well, and you picked up your first point in the tournament, so both of you are struggling right now. Is there anything you want to do to, you know, change your game? Mackie goes, we'll win. I know it. Tamu. She does to Tam, and Tamu looks up, and she just smacks her in the face as hard as she can. She goes, we just need to start winning, yes? And Tam's like, yeah. And then Mackie storms off. And Tam just looks at the mic, look at Joni, she just goes, win. And then she walks up and follows her. We then cut back to Kiana James. She's actually out of her office. She's wandering down the hallway. She's got a piece of paper with her. And she bumps into Next Gen. She goes, oh, girls, just so I want to see. Okay, so, I understand recently there's been a lot of, you know, hostility between us. And I want to, you know, preface this by saying, you know, this comes from no place of unrest. This comes from a completely neutral space, because obviously I want to see you girls succeed in this company as well. But we got the email that you sent us last week. You said you wanted to be traded over to ECW. And I'd let you know that they don't want you. And then Kevin's like, well, what do you mean they don't want us? It's like, nah, they said no. Heyman doesn't want you, sorry. And Kevin goes, really? Can we see confirmation of that, Kiana? Because why would Heyman not want 5 of the next generation of women's wrestling on his roster? Because I don't know, maybe he's trying to get more bloodline people on there. I don't know. He's a weird man, that Paul Heyman. But yeah, he said no. Sorry, girls. And she walks off. And then Nene sort of leans in. He's like, Heyman didn't say no, did he? And then Kevin's like, I highly doubt it. '53 raid match, just a short match. You know, we follow off that segment of Kiana James telling Next Gen that they can't go to ECW with a victory for Kim McQueen. She beats Jakara Jackson in 4:39 with a spear. Interesting timing. 67 for Kim, 52 for Jakara. And yeah, nice win for Kim McQueen here on ECW on Heat. They catch up with Tegan and Piper backstage. And Joe Tessitore is like, a mixed bag for Tegan Knox and Piper Niven of the Liberators tonight in the Intercontinental Climax. Tegan, you got your first victory in the tournament. You're now on 4 points. You're undefeated in the tournament so far. Beating Tam tonight. Tegan goes, Tam, she's... People get lost again in the J-Flow aesthetic and the J-pop stuff. We say this every single time you step into the ring with them, but she was one hell of a competitor. And she's definitely going to get a couple of wins. You know, I know she's down right now, but she's got what it takes to, you know, get some victories in this tournament. But they haven't got to wrestle her again, hopefully, unless she gets to the final alongside me. And then Joe goes, and Piper, of course, tonight you and Bianca Belair tore it up in the opening match, but unfortunately you did come up short. And he goes, I know. Listen, Bianca Belair is Bianca Belair. What you going to do? The franchise player of this industry. She's the favourite to win the whole thing. I thought I could get that upset tonight. I came really close. But I'll get her next time. But I'm not going to let it beat me up. We're going to rebound next week. Or in 2 weeks' time even. And I'm going to be level on points with Tegan. Tegan goes, well, you won't be if I pick up points again 2 weeks' time. Piper goes, we'll see about that though, won't we? Tegan, and then she walks off and Tegan's like, but what's that supposed to mean? Piper. And she like chases after her. And they like follow off. Then do hear from Bianca. And Joe says, well, I'm standing here with the franchise player Bianca Belair. 2 wins from 2 in your South Conference of this Intercontinental Climax. Many people believe you are the favourite to win the whole thing right now. She goes, Joe, I don't get caught up in all of that belief. You know, I'm sure a lot of people, when the tournament was announced, were like, oh, Bianca, she's the favorite to win the whole thing. Or maybe Bayley, but Bayley had a bit of a rough start, so it's definitely me now. You know, based on what I've done in the past, that's nothing right now. Okay, what matters right now is the present. And even in the present, I'm still the EST. I'm still dominating everything I step into the ring with. Piper Niven, you know, one of the strongest girls here on the roster. I outdid her tonight. And I'm going to go on 2 weeks' time, whoever I've got left to face, every single one of them is going to learn the hard way why they call me the franchise player here on WWE Raw. So whether it be Tiffany Stratton, Tegan Knox, or Tam, they're the next in line to get shut out, because I'm going 5-0 in this tournament. And I'm going to become the Intercontinental Champion. '81. Low-key a little bit lower than I thought, but I imagine the crowd is quite dead at this point, so it's fine. Becky and Lyra, Becky Lynch defends her tag team championships against Shayna Baszler and Carmella. Becky does pick up the win, pinning Carmella with the manhandle slam in 1920 to make turns number 5 of the tag team championships. 76 for Lyra, 91 for Becky, 84 for Shayna, 73 for Carmella. And yeah, nice little defense for Becky and the Bird here tonight. And Becky holds her 2 championships up high. And then, like, Lyra's just stood there. So I got her hand. I was like, come on, Bex, come on. You're going to finally give me that championship. And, like, Becky looks at the 2 belts in her hands. And she looks across at Lyra, who's, like, waiting to have her belt handed to her. It looks like Becky's about to go and hand Lyra the belt, when they're jumped from behind by Roxy and Cora. Cora lays out Becky with the DDT. Roxy hits Pop Rocks on Lyra. And they grab a microphone, and then Cora's like, well, it seems that your little trip to ECW and finding the next challenger is out of the way. Seems like your little detour to SmackDown to find another filler challenger is out of the way. So why don't we get down to the real business here, Lynch, huh? You've got to face the reality that your generation is done and our generation is now. And that reality becomes this reality at Survivor Series. So yeah, mic drop, boom. New match set for Survivor Series. Cora Jade and Roxy Perez of the New Millennium face Becky Lynch for the Women's Tag Team Championships. 77 rated show. Sure, we take those. Oh, I might as well what you thought of the show, though, mainly of Raw. And I'll see you next time for ECW's go-home show. We've got the ECW Championship War Games Advantage match between Warden and Jey Uso. Plus, we'll hopefully find out who the last member of Team Bloodline is for the show. See you then.